A wonderful good day and a warm welcome to another new video. Today we've got the Audi A4. Type 8W. B9, so an Audi A4 B9. It's from 2015 and comes with a nicely tuned 110 kilowatt and a 2.0-liter diesel engine overall, really, indeed, truly. But that hardly affects what we're doing today, as you could clearly see from the title itself. Are we going to replace the control arms? We also did this on an Audi A6. Basically, it's the same, and I just want to show you that with these models, the older ones, it's a total disaster. You've got to take out this whole strut mount. You've really got to pull the entire strut out, because the bolts just won't come out on the inside. Here, or rather, it's hard to get a wrench on there to swap the whole thing. You can't get them out, they're pressed to body, that's how it was. Because they go in then out, but they end up hitting the car body. They've finally changed that now. Unfortunately, they didn't change that typical pain in the ass screw, or that really, really crappy little screw. They didn't change it, unfortunately. And yeah, that's why I want to bring you along here. I've already gone ahead and loosened the screw slightly. So if you want to go at it, really, be sure to put penetrating oil on it the day beforehand. Even though it's from 2015, it had never been changed here and it still worked perfectly fine. Really minimal, just warm the whole thing up a little and try it back and forth, back and forth. Not with an impact wrench. Do it by hand, back and forth, and only warm it up a tiny bit. Don't overdo it. That's the recommendation. You shouldn't heat it up, but honestly, if a screw snaps off like that, you're in for a real pain in the ass. You might need to get a special tool, drill the whole thing out, maybe replace the entire handlebar, because there's also the issue with the handlebar that the tabs that get pinched together, like where this is clamped, to the handlebar, which of course very often tend to break. I'll show you all of that, so it's important that you have a torque wrench. Because the bolt is set to 40 Newton meters, you really shouldn't overdo it, otherwise it can snap and then the control arm will be damaged, or rather the steering knuckle. So, anything else important to say? We have indeed ordered control arms from Lemfurter. I'm pretty sure that's the original manufacturer. That's why this bit was cut off here. Because it was basically sold as an aftermarket part, not an original. So, you can see it there. So, if you want to get some from Lemfurter, grab them. Buy link is down in the video description. Then you're on a really, really good track for putting in decent handlebars. Anyway, long story short, all purchase links are available in the video description. Get the torque wrench and tools from XXL Automotive. Just use discount code VIDEOVOLT. And I would say, let's get going then. We've already loosened the screw a little, so this won't take too much time, seriously. But it's still not happening here yet. The issue is as follows. First, the screw has now been changed too. And the problem is basically this. Water gets in here, and that causes the whole thing in this entire channel to oxidize. And because of that, it all then backs up. Because it's backing up now and you're hammering around here, something like a little tab can break off, for example, since everything's jammed up. So you have to be careful. We've got several of these screws, so don't be surprised I'm using them to hammer. So this is what the whole thing looks like. As you can see, there's so much rusted. And like I said, the screws have already been changed, so there's a bit exposed in the middle. So I can't really let it back up here either. It's a little bit better right now. Yeah, but even so, even if we get this off now, it's really, really important. I think we absolutely have to knock them out right here immediately. Not too much. Just split this here really minimally and very carefully. Take it easy, all right? If you split too much, it might break. You can't really move the aluminum back and forth, or it's not flexible, I'd say. Like, it all just breaks. Really tiny, almost nothing. And because it can happen, you spread it too far. Then when you tighten it, it pops back here on you, or rather here, as you can see. So, and now you can also see here, back there. Back there, you can see that the whole thing has been changed. You can now unscrew the screws from the inside so you don't have to pull this whole support structure out. He's got no support here anymore, but the bad thing is, if that thread in there gets damaged, then you're really completely screwed. So make sure you seat that thread in there really clean. Same on the other side. Now we have to knock the whole thing out here, or rather knock it out. Warm it up a bit. Most of the time they tend to get wedged in here rather than being firmly seated. So when you're hitting it, make sure you strike here and here and here and here, like a little bit staggered. So you don't just keep hammering here the whole time, because then it'll jam up more and the whole thing won't come off. We'll put a cable tie on here so it's seated nicely. Why is it important to remove it here first? First, there now. Somewhat pre-tensioned because the screws back here tighten down onto their own weight. That means when it's compressed, or if you take this off now, they'll pop up on you and end up in a certain position. Then measure how much of a gap you've got, then tighten them up again and firmly push them down. Because if you tighten the bars like that and then lower the whole thing, you'll pretty much already have them twisted or installed under tension at that exact point, right then. And then they'll of course break a lot faster, but I'll show you that in a minute. As you can see, they're preloaded and then they pop out, and that actually helps. If you don't unscrew that thing back there, so the automatic one kind of tries to pull itself out. As you can see, it's all oxidized too, so it gets really hard to remove later. And of course, you have to clean everything. So I've got a size 4 Allen key here that I like to stick in. You can twist it a bit. Size 4 Allen. Yeah, exactly. Size 4 Allen. I always put in like this. And then you can turn it once. There, preload it. And then basically nothing happens. So then we can use a 16 millimeter. Once you've measured it and marked it, we'll take the rear one off. Here you can also see why you'd replace the whole thing. It's all ripped up, really badly. Same thing on the other side. Hard to see for you now, but the screw goes inwards too. And then the whole thing can go back in. And of course, very, very important, screw the whole thing in securely. Into place. So you definitely don't strip the threads at all. And now tighten the whole thing. Up. So these bolts get 50 Newton meters and 90 degrees. As you can see, I don't have a torque wrench for this, but here's a rough guideline for how tight to make them. And those are the specs for new bolts. So you can get a rough idea, really now. Make sure to really grease all of this well. Same thing for the screw as well, okay. So, very important. This bolt needs 40 Newton meters. Yeah, guys, this is kind of what it could look like. Please write everything about the topic down in the comments below. Who's switched it themselves? What problems you ran into? Or what happened? And yeah, make sure to properly and securely retighten the wheel nuts. Take it out for a short test drive afterwards, and I'd recommend getting an alignment so the tires don't wear unevenly, since they do tend to shift slightly. An alignment will definitely help, or you can just do it when you put new tires on, get the alignment done at the same time. Yeah, other than that, there's really not much more to say, so please write everything in the comments below, and all the important buy links are in the video description. I'd say see you next time. Goodbye for now then.